Welcome to Bendigo for Bendigo Cup night for 2022. It's nice to have some people around us for a change in terms of these big feature races here at Bendigo. And joining me tonight is Corey Smith. Thanks for coming again, mate.
I'm very happy to be here. I was obviously here last year and there was no crowd, so it's awesome to see a nice crowd accumulating, and we've got it's a nice little view down there as well with the live music too, so it's going to be a very enjoyable night.
Yeah, good little atmosphere. It's just a shame that the weather played the havoc it has done for the crowd-wise. But joining us also from Sportsbet is Mitch Ebeyer. Mitch, you've been on a couple of these shows before, but not as a Sportsbet rep, mate. How's things?
I've been well, mate, and great to be with you two boys tonight. Great night. It's a little bit chilly, but I'm glad I made it here. The floods and whatnot, I did a few diversions, but great crowd turnout, and some nice racing.
I've normally got a 22-kilometre trip from my front gate to the front door. It was 102 kilometres. It's a little different than normal, but it's worth every bit of effort.
I'll tell you what, my favourite thing that's happened already tonight is the fact that Sportsbet has thought that Mitch Ebeyer is the size of a Paddy Garshagen or a Felix von Hoff, and they've rolled out the 2XL vest for him. I think it's just wonderful. I mean, maybe I was supposed to be the Sportsbet rep and I might be able to squeeze into a 2XL.
What I reckon is just to stash those bundles of cash in the jacket properly at the end of the day so it looks better.
Hillsville did the same thing to me, don't you remember?
Yes,
so
I do.
I think they might think I need to fill out a little bit.
Well, you talk a lot, you talk a big game, and it's just a fit little ego in there, I reckon.
Yeah, no. Hopefully we can find a few winners tonight. You guys have been in some good form in the last few shows, so I've got a bit of work to do.
Mate, these runners are about to head to the boxes. We're about 5 minutes away. We might have a look at the heat replays first of the Battlers Cup, and then we'll come back and have a quick chat about the final.
Racing, good to go on the inside was Deadly Dream. There's Speed, Aston Amare. Now on the run's got a nice clear run through on the inside to get through to second underneath of Never Sweet. Out deeper on the track was Shania's Dream getting checked. Aston Amare, Bonnie Too Good and Lock. Leader Deadly Dream by 2 lengths on the outside. On the run now coming out after it. Clear from Never Sweet. On the run, dashed up to take the lead, and the fave wins. On the run home over set. And they're racing, and Boom Burst came out of the boxes flying. Leads early on from Elite Paddy, who goes with it, and they get clear early on the inside. Mountainous driving through with Hutter Grange, well back to Knights Cross and Aston Ignite. Leader Boom Burst out by 2.5. Hutter Grange got to second. They're miles in front of Knights Cross to third, and then came Elite Paddy, but Boom Burst opens up and smashes them. Boom Burst set to go. Racing, very slow Coco Lily, Speed from Red Fog, and Aston Cassidy looming large goes now to take the lead. Behind them was Holly Fever up to second, Red Fog back to third. They've raced clear from the rest. Derry Girl, Coco Lily, Banaloma and Blue Stingray. Aston Cassidy the leader, out by 2. Trying to get it was Holly Fever to the outside, but Aston Cassidy a length on the line. Holly Fever ready and away, showing speed. Blackpool Hank's going to land on the arm out in front early from Blackpool May, who drives through to second with Bacali George on the inside. Clear Girl gets through, as does Blue Cans up to third. All in Rider around the outside, further back to Al Frankie, and then just a minute, but Blackpool Hank is going well, leads out 2 lengths on Blackpool May, who can't reel it in, and Blackpool Hank wins it by 4 lengths over. The lure rolls, they're set. And they're racing, an even line. Speed from Remnants now bursting through to take the lead. Cuban Cigars up on the outside to go to second, trying to get through Luna Town to third, and does so. And looms very large to the leader here. Aston Mead to fourth. They clear out on Dynamo Dash. I'm Indigo. Well back McIver Bluey, and last was Maggie Pie around the turn. Luna Town up on the outside has gone to the lead, and here's Cuban Cigar flying home. Cuban Cigar race clear of the Battlers Cup. They're ready. And they're racing. Favourite began well on the inside, Snowy's brother. Good Speed Factory Flyer goes with it initially, pokes its nose in front. Third was Desmonde. They've raced clear from Curly Tail, Aston Trump and Rock Icon. Snowy's brother drove through to keep the lead, but Factory Flyer's coming again, and Desmonde's right behind them. They're clear from the rest. In the straight, Factory Flyer's gone up to take the lead, kicking Snowy's brother. Heads out of sync, can't... Racing, good speed out. Moostar landed clearly in front of Century Rocks, and on the outside Shaggy Rufus. Now weaving through, Aston Pivot gets to the rail. Behind them was Dust Storm. Well back in the field, Magic to Burn, Crystal Opal, and last was Champ Duran, but Moostar leads out by 3 or 4 on Aston Pivot, who's trying hard. Behind them was Dust Storm. Moostar by 3 over Aston. Set. and away, even line, good speed, Half Pint, draws through to take up the lead early from All In Runner and Call Me Molly. Deeper on the track was Miss Bell, between runners was Bit Shaky, we got chopped out, and then Bell Topper and Joyous Sensation, the other favourites back to last. Half Pint steers a course away from the rail, but it's well out in front of Miss Bell. Battling away was All In Runner. Half Pint is home. Half Pint scores second.
Runners at the boxes now for the Battlers Cup for 2022. $5,000 the winner. Boys, quickly your tips, Mitch. Battlers Cup.
I'm 8 to beat 3-4-2. I've gone the roughie here. I think it's drawn beautifully.
Corey?
I'm on the 2, but a little question marks about its application.
Yeah, I've gone 4, 2, 8 and 6, but a very open race, as you'd expect, the Battlers Cup. We've got the best in the business, Dan Hibber, doing the calling tonight. We'll go it to you now for race number 5. $5,000 to the winner awaits the Battlers Cup triumph.
Ultra impressive in his heat. They're the fastest heat winner. And they're getting set for the first leg of the quaddie. Good race, 5,000 to the winner of the Battlers Cup for 2022. The green light is turned on and the lure rolls. We're ready to go. Set. Ready. And away. Slow to go was Boom Burst. On the inside, beginning well, was On the Run. Trying to drive through and keep the lead. On its outside, Aston Cassidy with Blackpool Hank. Boom Burst is trying to recover through on the inside. Out deeper on the track was Snowy's brother as they come around the turn. Aston Cassidy found the lead here. Aston Cassidy out in front of Snowy's brother. Running on was Boom Burst, but Aston Cassidy, it's a local win. Aston Cassidy's won the final and beat home Boom Burst and Snowy's brother. Fourth in On the Run. Clear then of Blackpool Hank. Half Pint was never in the call with Cuban Cigar and Moose Star at the rear. Aston Cassidy's Battlers Cup 23.986. What a win for Aston Cassidy and Sam Webb. He was ultra impressive in his heat, 24.05. It was the fastest time before the last heat was run and won by Boom Burst. And it's been able to score a big victory in the Battlers Cup. 3-2-6-1, 3-2-6-1 are the numbers on race number 5. Half a length by 3/4, 6.55 early, 11.42, 12.57, 23.986 is a really good run. And the winner, Aston Cassidy, is by Aston DB Dinah Sarah for Sam Webb. Second to Boom Burst, Fernando Bale Tantrum for Natalie Prosciutto. And third across the line is number 6, Snowy's Brother by Mapunga Blazer, Unmid Bale for Tracy de Gladys. Tote dividends. The totes, Aston Cassidy, $8.60 and $2.10. Boom Burst, $1.10. Snowy's Brother, $2.10. Fourth in was number 1. The Quinellas paid $16.10. The Exacta, $38.90. The Try, $161.40. Running double 8 and 3 paid $14.70. And the first 4 dividend on the numbers of 3, 2, 6 and 1 has not come up on the board just as yet. Unfortunately, the dividend on the board is not correct. So 3, 2, 6 and 1 on race number 5. It is all clear. Half a length by 3/4, 23.986 the time. We stand by for the first 4. Race 6 is the Ank Tyres and Wheels Grade 5. You can scratch the 2 and a field of 7 at 11 minutes to 9 o'clock.
We see Aston Cassidy coming back there after winning the Battlers Cup. I guarantee you, whoever wins the Bendigo Cup won't be as happy as what Sam Webb will be tonight. He would be absolutely ecstatic. A young bloke having a crack at full-time training. He does a bit of work helping out Grant Fullerton with the breakers as well. Got a few Tier 3 greyhounds off Ray Border to kick him off and kickstart. I think Quinella, the consolation last year was like he won the Melbourne Cup. So I can imagine what he's going to be like at the presentation there this evening of the Battlers Cup. But doesn't matter what grade you're in, doesn't matter how fast you are, if you're not blessed with speed, you're going to struggle. I mean, Boom Burst run was enormous, but it just shows the power of the pace of any greyhound. Yeah,
exactly right. I mean, every sort of media thing that we do, Peacock and I, we talk about things, and for me, the biggest thing is finding where they're going to be at that first marker, and that race just kind of showcases that. Boom Burst got quite a fair way back, and then charged on. But I still have my question marks about his application. But yeah, he's got the ability though.
Great win though by the 3. I thought it would have a forward position. I thought the 8 was a tad disappointing, but not taking anything away from the 3. It was terrific last week in the pouring rain, and the run tonight was awesome. Get out in front and go, and you're hard to reel in when you lead races and there's a bit of jamming.
We talk about that pouring rain. Hats off to Mick Pell and the boys here at the track. And obviously, the track's got a reputation of being a very even track regardless of weather, but Aston Cassidy and Boomburst ran 24.05 and 23.95 races, 11 and 12 after an inch of range in the race meeting. Tonight, they've gone pretty much the same again after 120 mils of rain in 2 days, but a perfect day today. It just shows that the boys, that the track is consistent all the time, and you can follow the form wherever you want to follow as far as the clock goes here at Bendigo.
Yeah, exactly right. It is really hard. There's some tracks that you find it hard to match up the form moving to other tracks, and Bendigo's not one of them. You know that a 425 is going to stack up. You know that a 500, if they come to the Meadows or Sandown, you can kind of rank that against each other, and it can be pretty similar. But how about our man Jimmy Vandermark though? He's running the Punters Club. He's kicked off, and he's had a place bet.
A place bet that ran
and
fourth.
It's run fourth. So
yeah, they're killers. It's the same as the no third dividend when you want a top two and it runs third, and it just absolutely breaks you. But just seeing the trainer here, he's absolutely over the moon. He was looking back over his shoulder. Fantastic to see, and that's what greyhound racing's all about. These races, whether they're worth $1,000, $5,000, $50,000, they put the hard yards in, and winning a race, it's just a great feeling.
12 heats of the Battlers Cup, which is pretty rare. It's rare to get 8 heats of a cup. They got 8 heats for the Bendigo Cup, but 12 heats of the Battlers Cup. An up run of consolation was worth $3,500 the winner. These lower grade feature races, you don't want them saturated obviously, but they're taking off a fair bit. I mean, Ballarat's run a couple of those similar races as well. I know the club here at Easter next year is adding a rank and file, a high ranking cup worth $5,000 winner over Easter as well. It's great to see significant prize money at the lower end of to reward the effort for the people that pretty much are the bread and butter for wagering and for participation.
Yeah, exactly right. I mean, it costs the exact same amount to feed a dog, whether it's a Group 1 dog or a Tier 3 dog, and it's the same sort of costs that are associated. So to be able to provide
I think
these
it costs
sorts
more
of
for
races,
slow one because you're trying things all the time to try and find 10 lengths on it.
It probably does. But particularly at the Meadows, we've started doing some Tier 3 races and stuff on a Wednesday, and they've been really well received. So it is important to kind of help out trainers that have these sorts of dogs, and I've got a dog at home that he won 21 races, and my parents have a dog that didn't make the track, and they're both just as beautiful as each other as well. So to look after everyone and make sure that everyone's getting food on their table is really important.
I think I said this to you probably a couple of weeks ago, that the big races are fantastic, but the chances of myself or yourself having a dog in the $1 Million Chase or the Phoenix, it's unlikely-ish. But this is where it's at. This is where your backyard trainers and a lot of our greyhounds are going to be tier dogs and in these sort of races. So I think the more money that gets pumped into these races and the lower grades, it's fantastic because we get to see the greyhounds go around, and to win $5,000, it's like winning in town for these guys, and over the moon. So it's got to come in more, and I think it's a great initiative.
It's good too because the races you talk about, they create the interest and they get people involved in the dogs, thinking you're going to get $1 Million Chase, but these are the more chance you're going to be, and this is why it's great to have. The atmosphere, we're good. As you said, Jimmy Vandermark, he's doing the Punters Club. Local bookmaker Anthony Jupp has taken the bets there, and I think he's guaranteed some sort of return if Jimmy does the cake hold and does the lot. But at the moment, he's got a quaddie going. But that place bet was a very, very interesting bet. Mitch, Sportsbet.
I was about to say, hopefully he goes better than he did at Sale a couple of years ago. I think he was out in the first race.
I mean, he only ever talks about Warrnambool about 2014 or something.
You know what? I was actually there. No word of a lie, I was there. And one of my mates that I was there with, we'd been on the sauce all day at the races, and we get there. I go, no, we're not going in the Punters Club. Anyway, one of the boys, he won a bit of cash and goes up to collect it at the tote. And on his way back, he goes, I bought everyone a couple of Punters Club tickets, and I'm like, you are kidding me. He's like, I bought it for you. You don't have to pay for it. It's fine. Whatever happens, you don't have to pay me back. Anyway, I think it was $20. It was 2 tickets that he got me, and I think turned it into about 110 or something.
That's a good result.
It was unbelievable. It was an absolute clinic, but I think he's still holding his hat on that, just like he is with the Specky that he always brings up. So it's actually tradition for us to bring it up in these sorts of things. So if we didn't, probably be hell to pay. Yeah,
definitely, no question of that. We're going to YouTube tonight as well as Facebook, trying to build, the club wants to build that YouTube presence. Obviously, as opposed to Facebook, you can chuck it on your big screen at home and get it going on there. So hopefully people are tuning in, switching from Facebook to YouTube. But get engaged in the comments. Give us any comment you like, some feedback, some suggestions, ask some questions. Nothing's off limits here, as long as you know the answers aren't going to be off limits either. That's normally the way it works.
I'll tell you what, if we had have just had a couple of beers in front of us, I say it every time we do one of these, but a couple of beers might have really loosened us up.
Well, we might have to get some during the night. I mean, this is a pretty
Something's going to warm us up.
Pretty laid back show. Warm us up. We ran 5 cups here in the middle of winter, and only one of them was colder than what it is tonight. I'll give you the tip. It's unbelievable after all that rain. But in all seriousness about the rain, we hope everyone is at home and we can give a bit of a laugh and find a few winners in terms of anyone that is battling to try and get out. Mitch, Sportsbet recently come on board as the wagering partner, sponsor partner of Greyhound Racing Victoria. Pretty significant deal compared to what's gone in the past, and it just shows the way that things are heading. But the Sportsbet crew, they like to have a bit of fun as well in terms of that. How's that going?
Yeah, really good. I've only just jumped on board recently, but a great crew down there. And what you hear from the external side of things is how well they're run, how much fun they have. The audience they're targeting that younger sort of audience, and they want it to be fun. They obviously want to get involved in greyhound racing. They know where it's going, and they've got a great vision for where they want it to go. I think it's fantastic, and it is such a great sport, greyhound racing, and the drive behind it now will be even better. Social media's become massive. Sportsbet will be pushing that like you wouldn't believe, and I think it's fantastic for the industry, and they're just a great bunch of guys down there, and I know they're as passionate as we are.
I know, Corey, you had a bit to do with them, obviously, through the Phoenix last year with Wow She's Fast, and they're back into it again, fingers crossed after Adelaide that everything comes to hand. But they put a fair bit of promotion on that night and certainly put a bit of colour into a reasonably quiet night post-COVID.
Yeah, and they had to be a little bit cheeky. They did a few things just with their colours rather than their logos and things like that to get away with it at the Phoenix, and they did a really good job. I mean, everyone that was there that night has said that the Phoenix was probably the greatest atmosphere at a greyhound race they've seen, and I think we owe that in no small part to Sportsbet. And we actually had a meeting today about the Phoenix and their event activation for December 17th this year. So that was this morning, and I actually called one of the Sportsbet people by their first name. I said, Ben, and one of them goes, who? And it was Holsty. So that just goes to show that they all just call each other by their nicknames. It's not too formal. They don't take each other too seriously. No. They have a bit of fun. And
so we've got Peacock. What's...
Smithy.
Smithy, according to some. Yeah, with a double F, not the TH.
Depends if you have the lisp going or not. But Smithy or Smid or something along those lines is usually what I cop when people are calling me nice things.
Yeah, I can't repeat most of my nicknames.
Exactly.
Hey, I tell you, the carry-on for that night at the Phoenix, I was obviously on course and just watching from afar at the celebrations, the scarves were going, they're almost just crashing through the fence. It was an awesome atmosphere, and that's as I said, I've said numerous times, greyhound racing, we want it to be like that. We want to have fun, we want to express ourselves, and I think there's no one better in the industry when it comes to sports, but it's just
a shame the weather's done what it's done here tonight. Obviously, it's a pretty decent crowd. We've had some vision of inside earlier on, and obviously outside here there's plenty of entertainment. At the back there's a concert after the last, going to go on for an hour or so with Kate DeRouge, a former Australian Idol winner that lives here in Bendigo, and Jess Mangan singing at the moment. It's a shame. I reckon it's probably costing 500 or 600 people with the weather, but at least we can showcase what's going on and bring those people to the track as the Sportsbet crew did and others. But I know the horses are off here tomorrow and they're still having their little beach party concert. But there's a group of blokes here that they're done up in the second-hand shop suits. They were supposed to be going to the races tomorrow. They've ditched those plans and come in to the dogs tonight.
Someone that was also supposed to go to the races tomorrow is Peter Sadler, one of the Phoenix slot holders. So he's decided to come along.
Too, yeah.
Yeah, so they've decided to come along as well. So it's good to pick up a few people from the crowd that would have been at the races tomorrow that has unfortunately been transferred to Ballarat. But it's always good when you're getting those sorts of people to come in and enjoy themselves.
It's good to see a crowd.
Yeah.
How long do we go without having a crowd at these big races? Or you could hear the sound of the lure and the dogs barking in the kennel block. Now we've got a great atmosphere.
It shows too, you get fast dogs and just a little bit of promotion. Adelaide last week, Adelaide Cup night was phenomenal. I mean, obviously, Wow She's Fast was the pin-up, as it was back in the day with Brett Lee, and when you capitalised on those grounds being at either the lesser city clubs and also regional clubs, like the day Fernando Bay was here in the Cup was ridiculous. They had buses come from the Moss Trooper Day, the horses to come into the heats, and if we can capitalise on that and then put a little bit of entertainment on, we just keep them engaged, and obviously with Sportsbet getting on, they're converted to punters as well, and that's what we need.
Yeah, exactly right. It is really special when you see these great greyhounds, and it's the things that you you remember for years to come. Like even coming here and watching Vanderbilt win the Cup once, I vividly remember that. You know, they went off their nuts. And it's special. I like seeing that, and I like people that don't take themselves too seriously, as all three of us don't. So the more sort of people we can get into the sport that way and enjoy themselves, it really is a special thing.
Yeah, I think the younger generation getting involved, sporting clubs, this is what obviously will drive the industry. And I know personally, being involved in a few greyhounds with my local sporting club, that those blokes love it. We get to go on court. It's not often, but we go there and we have a lot of fun. We enjoy the night. And when you get some great dogs go around like it's going tonight, it really does draw you along.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Just have a look at the Facebook comments. Matty Field, he's on the Facebook page. Man says Aston Prophet in the Cup is a big chance. I've got no doubt, Matty, that Aston Prophet is a big chance from box number 1, having his 3rd crack at winning a country cup. I think the camper overseas, holidaying in France or somewhere, or heading off. Is that right? The Sharps are heading overseas and watching it from somewhere else, I think.
That'd be nice.
That's not bad, is it?
I'll tell you what, it's death, taxes and Matty Field being our number 1 supporter, isn't it?
100%.
3 guarantees in life.
He'll be up and about after his dog saluted today, and that's Hope at Geelong, so well done to Matty. It was a terrific win.
A little disappointed to make the final here, I suppose, but bounced back today at Geelong. Liam Sharp's joined in. G'day, legends. G'day, Liam. Good luck with Aston Prophet as well as Orson Mick. And you might be able to confirm, is it right that you guys are either not in the country at the moment or on the way out of the country? And if you are, have fun. I know that Daniel Pelly, him and George Daly and a few others, yes, Mum and Dad are on a flight currently to France. So,
jeez, that's...
I'll tell you what, I wouldn't mind.
It might be an extended stay if you pocket after 50, wouldn't it?
I'll tell you what, I wouldn't mind landing and hearing that my dog's won a Bendigo Cup.
Oh, it'd be nice.
It depends if they're splashed out for that Wi-Fi or not on that flight. It might be a nervous flight.
They will miss the race. Dad's going to be stressing his head. But as long as I don't reckon there'll be too many people at the airport in Paris giving the results out, so we might be able to watch it as if it's live anyway. But I think
don't need to put the KO no spoilers thing on there. There won't be any spoilers in France.
No, definitely not. James has had 100. What's he got there?
100 the place on the 8th.
100 a place,
which is limiting.
And
he's had 100 each way. No, 200 each way on the one Xandra Bale. It's $1.60 pop. Why does he do this? I don't understand what he does.
James, can you come here for a second? We're going to call James and we'll just do an explanation on an each way bet on one that's 180. Can you just give us an explanation? I know that your confidence is down already early in the night.
Are we on, are we? Or?
Yeah,
we're on. We're on. How are you, Mitchy?
Good yourself.
Look, the majority of our each way bet, before you think I'm too silly, is on Top Toad. We've got Top Toad happening down here on the Punters Club. I'm not going to mention how we got that, but we managed to get Top Toad happening.
Yep, cool.
So my theory is sometimes with these no third dividend races, how often do you see the winner? $1.80, $1.80 a place. So that was my theory behind it. It's only 100 each way. It's not big money, Mitchy. No. Just a little flutter,
but you've had 100 each way fixed as well, so your argument's out the window, mate.
You leave that as a tip to the milkman.
Well, look,
I've asked him this question numerous times about the
I do. Look, maybe I'm doing it wrong. Maybe I am. I'm not too sure. Maybe I need to have a good hard look at myself.
But you know what he tried to do to me this week, right? Greenlight on Premier Racing podcast with James Vandermart, arguably the best racing podcast that exists in the world. But
yes. Not just racing, just in general.
Just in general. I didn't want to go too big. I didn't want to inflate the ego too much.
No.
But every week we give a Punters Punting Club a tip, just $50 spend, and he's tried to go without a spend. He was that.
I'm low on confidence, and I'm not.
What are you putting the 50 in?
No. We get the 50 donated.
Didn't want to spend it.
What I said, gamble responsibly. I said if they're going to put the 50 out there, I'll just grab it. Like I'm a little bit down on confidence, so I'll just grab it.
You down on confidence,
and I won't bother having a bet. So listen, that's maybe why I'm backing number 1 on the each way here, just trying to pick up some confidence. I was meant to have 2 bets personally today, but Charlton Hindle, the manager here, has had me running around like a headless chook all night. So I haven't had a chance to put my personal bets on.
The previous manager used to let you get away with murder.
Well, that's right.
You pay for nothing.
I used to have it pretty handy, didn't I? But as it turned out, I missed out on both of them. They both came in and won. So maybe I'm getting a bit of confidence. But if Xandra Bale runs no third dividend, the Punters Club will be shut. Put it that way.
Juppy's looking after there, one of the local bookmakers, Anthony Jupp, and a form expert in all 3 codes who in recent times has stood everywhere from Rockhampton through to Warrnambool.
Yeah.
He's looking after you over there?
Yeah, no, he is for sure, and looking after the money till too, so hopefully we can trust him with that because the Punters Club's been good tonight, to be honest. On a more serious note, we sold 150 tickets and we're only open for about 30 minutes before we started, so it's a good turnout, crowd's good, atmosphere. At the moment, I'd say no. I'm not going to lie to you, Troy. That was about 2000. It's getting that long ago. 2000 and maybe 16, Troy. We're talking 3 years pre-COVID. You probably would have heard of this, Corey, have you?
He was a shareholder.
He was part of it.
I was
Well, there you
not
go.
one of the big wigs. You didn't pay any attention to me at this stage.
No, that's all right. Now I do.
That's it.
No, look, we had a massive... You heard about that, Mitchie?
But the boys just filled me
Yeah,
in. But I
it's-
was just talking about the sale cup night, and that one didn't go. to
It
plan.
flopped. Yeah, there's been a few flops lately.
It happens. We're all in the same boat.
To be honest, though, the one thing is great about a night like tonight is the racing is so evenly matched because they are the best dogs going around. So there's no such thing as an easy race. I just keep looking at myself on the telly and thinking, gee, I'm looking a bit suave tonight, aren't I?
Looking good.
For a punters club anyway. But no,
We
look.
can get some of those old hair footages out if you like.
No, please don't. If you want to get any old footage out, grab the mark of the year when I did the Moorcroft.
It'll be
The Moorcroft. I'm out of here,
There was
boys.
better vision at 9 this morning with an inch of rain
I'm
than it
just
was with
checking-
that photo.
That was actually $1.01 on Sportsbet, that, James, to be mentioned.
Yeah,
but
I'm actually
no.
disappointed. He's just said 50 seconds on the microphone and only mentioned the podcast once.
I'll tell you what, I found a few bets recently on Sportsbet that had a bit of value. $5 for Wow She's Fast.
Yes.
To break the track record in the
They're generous at
in
times.
the match races at Angle
nice.
Park, but I don't think they're generous enough to give $1.01 for that mention.
No, you're probably right. Market was closed, but look at the market for this race. Xandra Bale's into $1.55, $1.50 now on the fixed on Sportsbet.
So was that the
I'd say
$2 at
they've
one
absolutely
stage?
pumped it, and I'm not that keen on it.
I
like the 4.
was against it pre-scratching of the 2. I actually had the 2 on top, and I thought it'd take care of the 1 early. But without the 2, it does look like a winnable race. But $1.50, no, thank you.
Well, you were with Bop Music originally, were you?
Was I? I thought I was.
No, you're with me.
I thought I was with the 2. Oh no, this was. I'd done the form, and then I sent it to you after the scratching.
You've done a Brooke Ennis.
No,
we're on the same
it was
boat.
You've done a
scratch.
Brooke and
I
changed
did the
mine till I
form
Brooke.
when it was in the thing, and then I changed it and I'd sent it to you after that. I thought I'd sent it through to you before it.
Your numbers are 4, 1, 6, and 8. I'm 4, 1, 5, and 6. So, and you were 1, 4. So
146, yeah.
I think they're the 2 standouts.
Yes.
I thought that the 4 could lead. I didn't think I thought Xandra Bale's run 2 runs back was very good. I didn't know if its last run was as good. I don't know if the $1.60 is something I'd be jumping hard into, but I thought Bop Music can find a spot early, and we won't be able to forget Crackerjack Lock at sale when that was tipped at about 35 to 1.
Here we go. So what? Sportsbet markets $2 into 155. Xandra Bale.
Yes.
Bop Music reasonably
Holding firm,
steady,
440.
holding firm at 440. Crackerjack Lock drifted at 950.
Open at
Limiting
650.
750. Slight drifter on it, just in half a point now. Louis Zeus $12. Hot Diamond 61 and Eileen J at $61. As these runners approach the boxes, Matty Field says, ask James about the Geelong Punters Club. I reckon there he was struggling and Matty saved him. I reckon he
Yeah,
put a
no,
tip
Matty
in
did give him a
and
tip.
he put
Yeah,
the
he
catch
did.
in
I-
afterwards.
I-
So-
I
and
love ripping
Matty's
in-
tipping the white in this, so a little bit of
Jeez,
value.
Hot Diamond.
Hot Diamond. So
A little bit of value.
$71.
That is, yeah. That is
Tell
a
you what,
lot
if
of-
Matty gets that up, he
and
might be in
straight
France.
into 61, so Matty might have had his little
Maybe.
wager there with Sportsbet, but
He'd be a marked account for sure.
100%. So
hey, I
these-
tell you, James does a great job. I know we
He
give,
does.
we give him,
Sensational
and he's an
promoter.
easy
Yeah.
man to rip into. But
Yeah, he
geez,
is.
he's been good for greyhound racing, and to do this tonight,
These runners going across behind the boxes now. We're basically with 1 and 4 to run 1-2. Xandra Bale and Bop Music. Xandra Bale, the odds-on favourite. Let's see how the Ag Tyres and Wheels race pans out. Race number 6.
At Sandown. Getting set. Just about ready to go. Last of them secured. And the green light turned on. And the lure rolls. Race 6, the Ag Tyres and Wheels. They're ready. Racing, Xandra Bale began okay on the inside. Good speed, Bop Music beat it out and got to the lead. Limiting up on the outside to third. Fourth was Louis Zeus. And then came Eileen J and Crackerjack Lock. And last of all was Hot Diamond. Bop Music the leader. Xandra Bale to the outside, a half away, looming very large. Limiting is third. Clear then of Louis Zeus around the turn. Bop Music, Xandra Bale. Down the outside was Limiting. Limiting and flying home Louis Zeus. Limiting has beaten Louis Zeus. Third in Bop Music. Xandra Bale could only run and manage fourth. Behind them was Crackerjack Lock, Eileen J and Hot Diamond, and the time is 28.250. Number 8, Limiting, has got over the top to score, and and beats Louis Zeus and Bop Music. And Zandra Bale, who had every opportunity, has run into fourth. 8-6-4-1. 8-6-4-1. 6:53, 15:25. A run home of 13, and the gallop is 28.250. 1.5 by 3/4. 1.5 by 3/4. 8-6-4-1. Number 8 limiting for Paul Hammerstein from Ararat. It's victory number 8 from 34 starts. It's by over limit and out of Until Tuesday. Second number 6, Louis Zeus on the rail. Konomi Carla Zeus for Corey Lee Heinrich. 13 is number 4, Bop Music. Fernando Bale Subconscious for Daniel Pell. 8-6-4-1. 8-6-4-1 on race number 6.
So these runners coming back after the win, limiting, who James tells us tipped on the podcast, but took 180 each way, a dog that couldn't even finish the 4.
I'll tell you what, this is why I don't each way or place punt all that often, is because they always run fourth if it's top 3. I'm no good at it. Bop Music gave a pretty good sight there. He just got pestered a little bit by Zandra Bale, and then Limiting and Louis Zeus were doing their best work late. Louis Zeus was a nice run there, I think. 370 in the place, obviously no third dividend, but yeah, I can't trust Limiting still, even after that, but it's got ability, that's for sure.
Yeah, I think they're probably perfectly drawn, those dogs that you don't know what they're going to put forward, but drawn wide, they don't have to worry about any pressure. They can just scout down the outside and pick up those out in front that might be going toe-to-toe. But I thought Bop Music set the pace early. Xander Bale was a tad disappointing, and I don't know if James will be too happy with the fourth. I know each way was only top 2 in this, but yeah, $7 for the winner. Pretty handy price.
Bop Music's run would have been had Buddha and the crew in Abilene cheering at the moment. It's not a bad life for a dog trainer. One group are on their way to France. Another one in America at the moment. He's been to Texas, and now they're off to Abilene. Him, George Daly and Robbie Britton. It's pretty good, isn't it?
It's a great life. I was just saying, I rang Robbie Britton the other day. I didn't know where he was. I rang him, and he rang me back and said, it's 11 o'clock over here. And I'm like, you're definitely not in Australia. And yeah, he was over in America, and yeah, said he's with Buddha and Georgie Daly, and they're having a great time over there. But
it's a hell of a lot of work, so you deserve the rewards when you get the chance to do it.
And you wouldn't mind being a fly on the wall there, I reckon. They might impart a few little morsels of wisdom there, Georgie Daly and Buddha and
what goes on tour. What goes on tour, there's no question of that.
In all seriousness, greyhound racing, it's a 7-day-a-week thing. We all know what it's about. You've obviously got to feed them, you've got to work them. How hard is it to find someone to look after one dog when you go away? Try getting someone to look after 20 or 50 or 100.
Yep.
It is not easy. So when you get those breaks, you do cherish them, and hopefully they're having a great time.
Yeah, I'm sure they are. There's no question about that. M. Day Jameer on the Facebook page. Bugger off and spam someone else, you pest. Ladbrokes, Moe, Cup, go away, all these live streams.
Every single time there's a big greyhound event, they absolutely, Jason Adams and I have both, we've every time it happens, we message each other and just blow up about it and just have a big rant.
There's got to be a better way to blanket ban them. It's probably boring.
The problem is you block the person and then they have another account. It's just another account after another account. It's nearly a full-time job on the big events to just to block these people. It does my lid in.
It's a bit pesky, there's no question about that. The next race coming up is a Hip Pocket Bendigo Spring Cup Final. A couple of very good heats last week over the 660 metres. We'll have a look at those heats now, and then we'll come back and have a bit of a chat about this race.
Ready to race. Racing. Beginning well near the inside, McIver Jill. Good speed from Hummick out deep, and Lucky Molly gets the ride over. Jimmy's Intention burrows the rail, but Hummick got across and led at the 500. 2 lengths away, Lucky Molly in second. Jimmy Intention improves the rail. 2 lengths to Galloping Speed, 3.5. McIver Jill got no pro. Tailed out Arby's Lucy coming off the back. Hummick led. Margin 2 lengths on Jimmy Intention. 3 lengths to Lucky Molly, a length away Galloping Speed, then got no bro. 4 lengths McIver Jill, Arby's Lucy last. Hummick gave a great kick on the turn. Burnt away from Jimmy Intention. Then Lucky Molly Galloping Speed, but Hummick's going all the way. Hummick a big win, won it by 5, but Jimmy ready to jump. They're off, beginning fast in the centre, Flying Foxy away. Well, Extreme Jewel, duck back to the inside. We'll get to second onto the first turn. Quarter the favourite to third, a break of 2 lengths away to Goey Express with Adelong and then Fabriola Giannis and last Rampage Rolston along the back. Extreme Jewel is the leader. Out by 4 lengths on going to second the outside quarter from Flying Foxy. 6 lengths Fabriola Giannis to Goey Express. Then Rampage Rolston Adelong on the turn. The leader Extreme Jewel away with a good lead. Quarter has its work cut out running it down. Then Flying Foxy. Extreme Jewel in front. Quarter trying hard, but Extreme Jewel too far in front and won the money. But Quarter...
Oh no!
Sorry, got a cost. Excuse me.
Professional here tonight.
I get drowned in horse and don't miss a beat.
No one's laughed at.
No, yeah, they did. Yeah, they did. Dan Hibbard, how you going, mate?
Hello, Troy.
Down from the tower, the Ivory Tower.
I wouldn't say it's Ivory Tower, but it's nice up there, good view. It's awesome to see a crowd here. I called here last year and we had no bastard here, so it's good to have someone here.
Hey, I was here.
Wow.
Yeah. So we had one bastard.
We had one. No, it's good. It's really good.
I was born out of wedlock, so I am actually a bastard.
By definition as well. I seen you last night. Big trip home for you, was it?
Next question.
How long does it normally take? How long did it take?
Well, it took me about the same time, but I had to be pretty careful going home. There's a fair bit of water over the road at Ngambia, which was a bit of a hassle, and getting here tonight was just as grim, and it's probably going to be really hard going home tonight, because I think once I get home, I think I'm going to be locked up for about 3 or 4 days, because
is the BWS open on the way home or something?
Well, I hope so. But yeah, Shep's in a lot of trouble, so obviously the meeting's called off tomorrow morning. But yeah, we're in a lot of trouble there with the water that's coming down the river.
Mate, you had a lot of time to get back up and call these races. Next 3 races are 3 big ones. Your thoughts firstly on the Spring Cup?
Well, quite incredible to think that the track record was under threat. I didn't think we'd ever see anything go anywhere near the track record here at Bendigo, but that run last week was super by Hummock, and I think I'm probably not going to be able to repeat that given how much rain we've had, and it's certainly not a fast track tonight by any stretch, but he's going to be clearly the one to beat. I think Typhoon Sammy just wins the Cup. I think because the other big seeds didn't get through the heats, he's the big one that's left. And I think he gets all the favours, and I think even if he doesn't jump perfectly, he's still going to be really hard to beat. And then the match race is just a flip of the coin. It really is. It's just, I think Robbie Rotten will win it only because it's drawn the red, and he might jump out and lead, but if there's a nose in it at the finish, I think it'll be a good result.
Yep. No worries, mate. Thanks very much for the time. You've got a big couple of weeks coming up now. Obviously, the prelude started last night at Sandown, leading into the Melbourne Cup, and should be very good between the 2 city clubs. A pretty good 6 or 7 weeks.
Before you go, who's the early tip for the Melbourne Cup? And I'm not accepting where she's fast. I need something different.
Look, I'm not sure. I think she's going to be really hard to beat, but I don't know I haven't seen him for a couple of weeks, but Mr. Audacious, I haven't heard anything about him. No good? No, because I hadn't heard anything on that, and I thought it sounded a bit weird that he wasn't. I thought El Dorado over the last couple of weeks has just shown that he's got a fair bit of talent, and last night's win was, as good as what McInerney was the week before, beating Paddy Wants Pats. I think El Dorado was just as good, so he might be a bit of value in the all-in market.
There you go.
I like it.
I think McInerney's probably holding the fort at the moment. I think it's going to be hard to go past, but there's not a stack of greyhounds around at the moment that are running your 29 ones. And
what heat you end up in and what draws around you. There's not a lot between 30 or 40 dogs on the clock.
No, that's why.
But it's a big difference when you get into Group 1 races.
A dog like Paddy Wants Pats, I think, is in with a massive show.
Oh, yeah.
Has been chased down 2 weeks in a row, but the Bravos know exactly how to get a dog right for the absolute pinnacle of racing, and they're going to do that, and they're going to get him right, and he's doing it the right way.
And the big thing is, if you're in front into that first corner, out of trouble. We saw what happened last year with Koblenz. He got out in front and. I know he got dead-eated in the heat, but he got through and he made the most of it and was able to lead. And once you lead, it's hard for them to run you down.
Yeah, it's 100%. That's where you want to be if you can do it.
Early speed and box draws at Sandown especially. You've got to be down near the fence.
Yep, no question. Thanks, mate. All the best for calling tonight. And we'll listen to your dulcet tones in about 9 minutes' time for the Hip Pocket Bendigo Spring Cup.
Thanks, guys.
That Hip Pocket Bendigo Spring Cup. Hummock, as we said, tested the record last week that stood for 6 or 7 years of no donuts.
No Donuts was a good dog. I used to love watching him go around.
Well named too. Extreme Jewel is another one. whose heat was very, very good. Cordia's form around
Sandown broke 42 seconds there.
Beating Jimmy Intention by a length and a half there, but yet Hummock beat Jimmy Intention by 7.5 last week. Are they the 4 dogs? Are they the 4 top?
There's only one in it.
The only one, you reckon?
It's just one. It's
Hummock?
Hummock.
All the way?
I don't have the greatest record when I declare something. I remember declaring Titan Blazer as overs at $1.25 at Geelong in the match race and got rolled, and that kind of makes me a little bit more shy to declare things on these shows, but Hummock at $2.25. I'm sorry, Clint Capuano. I know he's in there somewhere, but I'm very keen.
Well, you can go round 2 on Titan Blazer tonight if you like.
I'm not going to be declaring him or saying that I think he wins, but I won't be saying that he's overs at $1.25 like I did last time. I'm still trying to wipe the egg off my face.
The thing with Hummock last week, he ran good sections for a stayer in particular, but he's probably gone a tick under 20, the equivalent of 24 dead mark to the middle out of the 425. But his run home was just enormous. Strong dogs, he just run away from him. It's hard to see him getting beat, particularly the fact he's drawn inside Extreme Jewel.
Yep.
And caught it right there. The scratching now of Rampage Ralston, does that help Extreme Jewel a little bit trying to put pressure on Hummock, or does it make it easier for Hummock to get going for a couple of strides?
I think it makes it easier for Hummock because if you have a look at the way the draw's gone, and I know you asked me for a little bit of a video just to back up why I was tipping it, but Got No Bro just crunched to the fence last week off box 6. All it wanted to do was get down to the rail. So virtually has a vacant box either side is the way I look at it. The 3 wants to get to the fence, the vacant in 5. It'll just roll straight to the front Hummock, and I don't think Extreme Jewel can go with it early. Probably will sit probably a length off it, but I don't think it can keep up with it. And Hummock at $2.25, I expect it to jump around the $1.90 mark.
Yeah, I was talking to Clint Capuano during the week and said how good this dog is, and I keep tipping it on this Green Light On podcast with Jimmy Boy, but I can never catch it. But I'm going to try my best tonight, and I'm going to get it up. But Clint did say that Hummock had never been here before the heat. And
yep.
First go over 660 as well. I think he did get a little bit lost there at one point in the replay as well. So I think there's plenty of improvement there, and that's pretty scary when it wasn't too far off the track record last start. So I think if he improves on that run, we're in for a real treat. And $2.25, I'm a bit shocked. As I tell you what, I bloody hate moths, and if that moth comes near me, I'm squishing it on camera.
Put your bloody wallet away.
Is there a concern with Hummock about the second up over the distance? Because I find it happens so often that they'll come out and run absolute belter first up. They'll scorch, and then they just seem flat the second run, and we just expect them to win.
I've always subscribed to that. You see dominant debut performances over the staying journey, and then you see second up they can kind of drop back. But I think Hummock is just built for this sort of distance range, and he's
had a few
fit, and
he had so many
600 metre prep and up to 660. And just the way he runs the 600 metres out as well, he's crying out for this. Although Clint did say he's planning to drop him back for the Hume Cup, so 600 metres at the Meadows after this. I think that could, if he gets an inside draw and finds his way through that first turn, he's a massive show in something like that.
I suppose you use a race like this to get those distance miles, and the confidence is going to stay. I mean, off last week's last sections, he's going to stay. There's no question. With not a lot of options in the next few weeks, you might as well drop back, have a crack at the 600 Group 1, and then go back up to the staying races after that.
Well, realistically, if he had been doing this and had a few 700s, he might have been a greyhound that would have gone for a Top Gun stayers. But he's going to have to drop him back to get the Group 1 sort of racing into him. But I think he's a Group 1 calibre dog over 600 plus.
Have a quick look at the market here, just quickly for Sportsbet. 220 now, Hummock. Quarter's been back, 5's into 340. The 2 Flamer, Extreme Jewel at 370. Then you get out to your roughies, Jimmy Intention at 10s, Lucky Molly 17s, Got No Bro at 19s. I'm probably leaning to a little same race here. Hummock to win. Got No Bro top 4 for those out there that are playing at home.
Let's see what that comes up to. Top 4?
Top $4.
$4.
I thought it might have been a little bit juicier than that, but
I suppose the late scratch and 7 runners now, that probably eliminates the top 4 market a fraction or reduces it. But it's still, I mean, he looks reasonable odds as a value dog, Got No Bro.
Oh, yeah, he might be the lesser light sibling in comparison to Wow She's Fast, but he's certainly got ability, and I wouldn't mind owning him myself. So Got No Bro's not without chances. He does pop up and win at big odds from time to time, so he's certainly one for the multiples.
Could cause trouble early, I reckon. Got No Bro. He might squash Quarter and Lucky Molly, and I think it's actually he's got a little bit of zip when he wants to.
We see these greyhounds parading now. There's Hummock with the nice curly tail, but nice and up on the toes. Got No Bro there, having a look at the track. You've got Quarter standing there as well, getting ready. So these greyhounds, a nice little vision there of the about to go to the parade, head to the winning post, then go back to the 660 metres. Those who haven't watched a lot of 660 metre races here, it's actually for a 660 a good run of the turn. It's a tick over 60 metre or just on 60 metre run of the turn. So about 602 or something post to post. So it's a good run of the turn. Obviously speed does help driving through that catching pen bend, but you can come from behind. But it's a 660, but you've almost got to be a good 700 metre dog to run time.
Yeah, and I've made no secret either of the fact that I really like these country cup staying sort of journeys. They're right in front of you. They're the best spectacle. Warrnambool.
Awesome, aren't they?
Basically everywhere you go in the country circuits, you get them starting right in front of you, and you get to see everything. It's great to watch, and yeah, I have a big soft spot for these sorts of races, and I thoroughly enjoy punting in them. I'm not massive on punting in 700 metre plus racing around the city. You get a lot of dogs that don't exactly apply themselves, but I think here you can get the sprinters that step up and greyhounds that are genuine. So hopefully we see Hummock win, and I'll tell you what, the curly tails, I just have a soft spot for them. And they seem to be getting more and more prominent as well. Like La Kiwi, Aussie Secret, they've had the curly tails.
Aussie Infrareds, both of those.
Yes. So it's just a little soft spot for those sorts.
So last look at our selections as these greyhounds get to the boxes. I've gone 4, 2, 8 and 1. I'm with Hummock. I think it pretty much leads and wins. Corey?
I've got 4, 2, 3 and 8. I'm worried about Quarter getting squashed at the start, but if he does get out and running, I think he'll be chasing Hummock well.
And I'm 4, 3, 2 and 7, I believe, but I think Hummock will be winning this, and Got No Bro, top 4 selection for the same racer for Sportsbet.
One quick look at the top couple there at Sportsbet. Hummock $2.20.
$2.05 now.
$2.05.
Been crunched in, $3.80 for Quarter. Then we get to $3.50 Extreme Jewel. So they're the three in the market. I don't see anything beating Hummock here, and they've piled in late.
Well, here we go for the Hip Pocket Bendigo Spring Cup Final, worth $10,000 to the winner. This is for the mixed 4-5 greyhounds that haven't won a city race 601 metres and above. Now we go to Dan Hibbard for his call of the Spring Cup Final.
They are the clear favourite runners for the third leg of the quad. $11 Jimmy Intention next best. It was second in the heat to Hummock, beaten 7.5, went 37 and 98, and $16 for Lucky Molly, who was third in that race in 38 and 10. They're about to get set for the third leg of the quaddie. Bit of value in the last leg with limiting, and the first leg going to Aston Cassidy. A nice running double for the first 2 legs of the quad, so there's a bit of value as we start the second half of the quaddie. Sky One with us. Leg 3 of the quad, the Spring Cup Final, $10,000 to the winner. The favourite is number 4 Hummock at $2.20. Extreme Jewel number 7 at $3.60, and Quarter at $3.70. Green light, lure rolls, set to go, race 7. Racing, Hummock began very well. It's got clear air early on. Speed Flying Foxy and Quarter driving through. Got a slight bump as they hit the first turn. Quarter leads. On the outside, Flying Foxy. Back to third was Hummock. Behind them was Got No Bro. Well back then to Extreme Jewel. Starts to weave through the field from Jimmy Intention and Lucky Molly. Down the back, it's Quarter. Hummock's up on the outside, a length away. Railing was Got No Bro. To fourth was Extreme Jewel. Clear then of Flying Foxy. Around the turn, Quarter tackled by Hummock on the outside. Quarter and Hummock. Hummock is going home strongly, charging Got No Bro, but Hummock wins it over Got No Bro, and third in his Extreme Jewel. Fourth across the line was close, hanging onto it Quarter, maybe just over Jimmy Intention, and then came Flying Foxy and Lucky Molly, and the time is 37 and 86. Number 4 Hummock for Clint Capuano does it tough and scores. Didn't get it all its own way. It was jammed going into the first turn and pretty much into the back straight as well, but once it got into the clear, has been really tough. It's 4, 3, 7 and 2, 3 quarters by 3, 3 quarters by 3 of the margins, 4, 16 early, 15, 19, 24 and 43, a run home of 13, 43, and the gallop on the Spring Cup is 37.860. Number 4 Hummock by My Redeemer out of Invictus Glory for Clint Capuano. It's win number 12 from 30 starts. Got Got No Bro second, My Bro Fabio Fair of Face for Peter Craig, and third in number 7, Extreme Jewel, is by My Bro Fabio Fair of Face for Vicky Weissner. 4, 3, 7 and 2. 4, 3, 7 and 2 on race number 7, the third leg of the quaddie. It's 3/4 by 3 in 37.860. We stand by for the totes, and here they are. Hummock, $2.10 the winner, $1.20 the place. Got No Bro $2.90, Extreme Jewel $1.40. Fourth in was number 2. Quinella 1980, Exacta 1990, the try 114.50. The first 4 245.70, and the running double 8 to 4s paid $28.40. Race 8 is the next. It's the last leg of the quaddie, and it's the Bendigo Cup final for 2022 at 9:27.
There is Hummock coming back after the presentation day after winning the Spring Cup. That was a gutsy performance. He's probably cost 6, 7, maybe 8 lengths in running and momentum, as we bring in a special guest here to hopefully give us a celebrity tip in the Cup. Merv, welcome to the show, mate. Good. Long time no see.
Yeah, no, it's been sort of 15 minutes, hasn't it?
Yeah, something like that.
It's been pretty good. Mate,
It's
been a great night.
Terrific night. If you
Bendigo dogs, fantastic.
You had a bet in the first, come out 8 behind them.
Yep.
You then tipped the winners of races 2 and 3, and we were talking
2,
crap
3
in
and
there.
4.
And 4, and missed that as well.
Missed those, and had a bet in race 5, no good. Had a bet in race 6, no good. Race 7, got the third. So I've had 2 thirds, but apparently they don't pay when you're backing for a win.
But you're revving up for the Cup.
I'll tell you what.
What are we tipping in the Cup?
What are you boys on in the Cup?
I'm on Typhoon Sammy.
Yeah, I think Typhoon Sammy probably gets the job done.
It's short.
Seriously. Have a look at the field. Tell me what I'm on.
Salad Dodger.
Salad Dodger.
You know, the funny thing is,
I'm on a Salad Dodger.
there was a horse one today called Salad Dodger as well.
It's a good omen.
Where was that, Campo? The Salad Dodger win?
Taree.
You said, yeah. Taree, you're on it. He's on it. He was on it
Just had
already.
a guess. Don't really know, just had a guess.
If you have plucked that out of your rear end, that's very impressive. Nostradamus.
Well, I knew they were racing at Taree when he said New South Wales. You're all over it.
Beautiful. Mate, you don't mind a bet, obviously, involve the racing a bit? Or?
Yeah, no, bit of a mug punter.
Yep.
But, not too often on the dogs, to be honest, mainly on the horses. And with the horses, because I don't know much about it, if you cross the horse into the jockey, into the trainer, and there's 3 ticks, you normally go all right, don't you?
Yep, that's
but with the dogs, don't really follow it. So it's more just have a look at it. With the dogs, just when in doubt, just box up 1, 2, 7,
7
and 8.
and 8.
Yeah, bang.
It's a pretty common theme, that one, isn't
Yeah,
it? 1,
it
2,
is.
7 and 8.
On the
Wheelie
wheels.
speed will go a long way.
It's amazing what happens though. If you're sitting down watching the dogs, 1, 2, 7, 8, when you're backing it never comes up. If you're sitting down and you haven't had it, 1, 2, 7, 8 comes up, I reckon 75% of the time.
I think that's any bloody bet. You sit there and go,
no,
this will
well,
be winning.
exactly.
No, I won't have a bet. They get the cash. Mate, we were hoping to get you the Horsham dogs last year. Had a bit of an issue here at
Yes.
Bendigo Dogs. How are you enjoying the night so far?
Yeah, it's been a great night.
Yep.
Yeah, it's nice and relaxed, isn't it? So,
Yeah, it is very chilled.
It's probably the weather we've had the last couple of nights has kept a few people away.
Yep.
But to get in here, a lot of people around, really good atmosphere,
night.
a lot of kids around, got the playground over there. So, yeah, it's a bit of a family night, isn't it?
Mate, Mitch is from Sportsbet.
Yeah.
Can you give us a leading wicket taker and a leading run scorer in the T20 World Cup? To have a bet.
It's hard to go past the Aussies, isn't it?
Yep.
I just reckon Australia are going to go really well. Their lead up hasn't been great, but you don't want to prime yourself now. So it's like being primed for the Bendigo Cup in the Greyhounds 6 months ago.
Yep.
So you got to get it right. And at the moment, I just think Aaron Finch and Maxwell, if they have half decent series, Australia will do really well. Pat Cummings, sensational player.
Yep.
Be either for me, it'd be either him or Hazelwood.
Yep.
For the wickets. For the runs, I'm going out on a limb. I'm going to say Finchy, and then Australia to win.
Is he about 1 or 4?
Hopefully he bats 1.
Yep.
Yeah, so him and Warner open. They've had a bit of a toy around with the rest, and just personally, and I know my opinion doesn't count. I've been a selector before, and people that aren't selectors, you've got to realise your opinion doesn't count. But gee, I'd be looking at getting Steve Smith in.
Yep.
Bat him at 3 if we lose an early wicket. Throw him in. If we get off to a good start, just push him down the list a little bit. So you send the other guys in, Mitch Marsh, Maxwell, Stoinis, those blokes in that can hit. But you lose an early wicket, you need a little bit of stability.
No worries, mate. Well, thanks very much for sparing the time to come and have a chat. Give us a tip for Salad Dodger in the 220 World
Salad
Cup.
Dodger.
Salad
Yeah.
Dodger. Get him,
Yeah.
Go and get some cash off Juppy on the way through. Try and get a quid off him.
I reckon I'm funding him tonight. I reckon he's going to Hawaii for 6 months off my bets tonight. It don't look like winning.
Oh, fair enough. Thanks very much, mate. Enjoy
No
the night.
worries.
And,
Cheers,
thanks
guys.
again.
Thanks for having us on. Cheers.
That was great. Wonderful celebrity tipping there from Merv Hughes, and a bit of mail already for the 220. Trying to get a plug in there for Sportsbet. Look at this.
He's trying to get a couple of bonus bets, I reckon, there. So if the team at Sportsbet are watching, we'll get your
Good stuff.
username out there, Merv.
Thanks very much,
Cheers,
mate.
guys.
Cheers. Thanks a lot. So we've got it's the Bendigo Cup. Beautiful. Thanks very much.
And the rug, Merv's
Here we
going to
go.
put it on, I think. Oh, no, on me.
Would you'd have drunk out of a couple like that in the after an Ashes or something, wouldn't you? Beautiful. There's the Bendigo Cup they're racing for tonight. Of course, it's 50 grand to the winner, but Typhoon Semi racing for another 50, which obviously, simple maths, 100,000.
Yep.
It's been done, I reckon.
I'm glad you said that.
Ferdinand did it.
Ferdinand did
Ferdinand
it.
picked
El
it
Grand
up at
Senor
Newcastle.
did it the first year it was on in 2011.
Did Zambora Brocky?
I think Ronan Izmir is the other one.
Yeah, how good a dog was Ronan?
I reckon he was
Underrated.
Super.
He just knocked off, I think, Paul Licking and Black Magic over might have won 2 each. And, Ronan Izmir was for Aston Bolero, won a couple. He might have even won 3, but in different years. So we're looking for the 4th greyhound to do it in terms of winning the bonus. But it's nice to think that 100 grand could go home leaving Bendigo, of all places, this evening.
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it, when you hear these dogs repeat Country Cup finalists and winners. It's like Ferdinand Boy, what he's done's been phenomenal. Typhoon Sammy, not long ago I was watching him run around Grafton.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
amazing the turnaround and the times he's running at the moment. It's absolutely phenomenal. Should be winning this, I would have thought. The box draws done a world of favours. They haven't missed it in the market. Sportsbet, $2 and 5 into $1.80. I think everyone's with it.
$9 and $10 at various agencies pre-post.
Pre-post.
God love a couple of them. So that's good odds, obviously, at this point in time. With
Very
a bit
good
of luck,
odds.
I told you about my little pre-post kerfuffle, and I've got a little ending story. So
you better
just
tell us.
quickly, it was with a corporate that I don't often use, and I saw that they had the market still open after the heats had been run. So
It sounds familiar.
I've quickly deposited a fair chunk of cash in there to try and put some on.
I'll get on after race day.
We were sitting next to each other at the
Yeah,
time.
we did do it once at Shepparton, which was very nice. But I put all the bets on and I got the circle of death. They got sent off to the trade, and I'm going, oh no, I'm in strife here. And obviously they all got knocked back. So I had the money in there. And I'm like, oh, I'll never use this account. I can hardly get a bet on. I'm gonna live chat them and say, look, do you mind if I just withdraw it? They kindly did that for me. And then for some reason there was bonus bets in there that they'd given me because I'd made a sizable deposit. And then last night I decided to throw one of the bonus bets on. I didn't like the $1.08 pop in the race 1 at Sandown last night, so I put it on a $20 pop and got the chocolates. So to that corporate bookmaker, I apologise for taking food off your children's table, but I actually don't care.
You don't
Hey,
at all.
Sportsbet don't make those sort of
No,
mistakes.
they
early
don't.
markets
They
open. I'll
don't.
tell you right
That's
now.
it.
They have got some very slick staff in there that are all over this sort of stuff.
Mate, before we have an in-depth look at the Bendigo Cup final, let's have a look at a bit of a short take of the heats from last week, and then we'll come back and have a chat.
Very wide and well back any time at all. The gap to Scofflaw and Burns ability on the swing. Shimasheen, he's right up on the lorry, leads by 2. Getting up on the inside, one's Obsession. But Shimasheen, the first into the Bendigo Cup. The third then would have been Robbie Rotten from Zara's Ivan Yanathi Bale. Well back Unknown Ability and Smart Talk on the swing. Aston Profit join and headed by He's No Slouch down the outside. Robbie Rotten, He's No Slouch. He's No Slouch beat Robbie Rotten. Gypsy Yankee, a gap to Ultimate Avenger from Whiskey Road. Last Security Man on the swing. Quinlan Bale shot for home. Plaintiff of Heels gets to the outside. It's Quinlan Bale in front of Plaintiff. Quinlan Bale won it. Quinlan Bale by a half length. Talking deeper on the course to Vermont Bale. Then Power of Buddy is a long way back with Aston Marvel as they turn, and Red Reactor in the straight. Saddle Dodger took the lead from Tiggerlong Gas, and Saddle Dodger's into the cup. Saddle Dodger by 3 lengths. Tiggerlong Gas, a Mustang, and Asnick C got thrown out to last. Look at Typhoon Sammy. He went bang at the top of the straight. He leads by 5 on Hilltop. Johnny Bumpy's dad Roy, but it's old Sammy. Typhoon Sammy into the cup by 6. Wild Bob for the back would have been Devil Dodger. Out to last. Keep it Black on the swing. Aston Merritt found the top. Ferdinand Boy the outside, then Action Girl. Aston Merritt in front of Ferdinand Boy. Aston Merritt won it. A length on Ferdinand Boy. Go back on the inside of Keep It Blue. Well back Osman Bale from Win and Do Wendy. Favourite his last. Matt's Hope on the swing. It's Panadero Warrior. He's clear from Titan Glazer up on the inside, but Panadero Warrior found his way into the cup. From now Fabio, followed by Will Power out to last. Coach Fagan on the swing for home. Orson Mick burrowed through. Orson Mick blew the whistle. Shot for home from Revolution. Orson Mick will seal the deal in the cup. Orson Mick into the cup by 2.5.
The heats of the Bendigo Cup. We've got our local on-course bookmaker. Been a long, long time since we've seen a bookmaker at Bendigo Greyhounds, that's for sure. Juppy, how's things, mate?
Very well, Hals. Thanks for having me. We're super excited to be here.
Now, Merv Hughes was just on and told us he had a topical tip in the race, which was Salad Dodger. Since 80% of your Twitter feed is reviewing pie shops on the road or Palmer's post-race meetings, you'd have to be a Salad Dodger as well.
Very much so, and Merv probably shouldn't throw stones either. But yes, greenery is what I have to eat in between all the pies and Palmers to actually keep yourself mildly alive, Hals. But no, salad dodging is probably one of the skills that I do possess.
But for those reviews, you better give your Twitter handle a plug because it's outstanding in terms of your reviews of the Palmers and the pies.
So I'm at the Picnics on Twitter. I started that because that's where I started bookmaking when I was a kid, back there at all the picnic racing, and I've moved up to Bendigo about 5 years ago, Hales, and when we ventured online, our little point of difference is that we still try and go to all the courses. So we just love being out of the office mainly. So to be here on course tonight, we've got you might have seen the stand set up behind us. So we're here betting, we're helping the Punters Club out. James is doing a great job with the Punters Club. He stitched me up there because he managed to back that winner best tote, and of course it kicked out in Queensland. So I've done my life there, but that's just the sad tale of how we rolled, really.
Mate, Bendigo Cup, before you go back and write a few more bets, what's your tip for the Bendigo Cup?
My tip is I'm going to try and get this favourite beat. Yep. That's sort of how we're approaching it. It does look...
Well, I've got to say, I hope you're on the wrong side of that ledger.
Yeah.
But
well, that's sort of the game at the minute.
Yeah,
like,
it is, yeah.
The handful of punters here, we've also laid the 2 as well.
All right,
for some reasonable money.
That's my second selection.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, I've got it for second.
So I'm probably just going to be against everyone else here that's just trying to do it. But that's
we're just
sort
trying
of
to
the
earn a quid, mate. There's no need to get up and be mean to us.
I'm trying enough to save up to buy a pie. That's been no good.
I'll buy you one of those.
Get Bakes to get you one.
Yeah, so it's actually worked out really well coming here tonight. We had planned it around. We were going to go to the Thoroughbreds tomorrow, but they're all called off, and it's thoughts to everyone that it's been a real tricky week around the area. So it's great to be out here and working, and there's such a big crowd here.
Yeah, it's great,
I think if we'd got some fine weather, it would have been massive. And well, we know there's those couple of big meetings where plenty of people turn out for the Halloween meeting and the Christmas meeting coming up. So hopefully we can get involved in that too. But we just love being out here amongst the punters, and we love being involved with the dogs. The dogs are such a big product now. It's a big part of our business, as I'm sure it is at Sportsbet and all the corporates. So we're just really pleased to play a small part and be here out on Cup night.
Great, mate. I'm sure the club appreciates having a bookmaker on course, and still hopefully we can back up for those other couple of big meetings towards the end of the year, and good luck the rest of the night.
I know what the club will appreciate is when I go and eat what's left in the Bay Marie later on. Because
I know you're going to get the favourite beaten, but have you got a selection that you're leaning towards if you had a look at the form?
What's best result?
The best result would probably be the 8, something like that. 7 or 8 would do us, but I don't like our chances. But James has done a good job with the Punters Club, so we're holding some of those bets too, so that sort of helped. But if we could probably get one of the out wide runners up, nice. I don't like our chances, but it'd be nice. A result every once in a while would be good, but I don't hold my breath.
Spoken like a true bookmaker.
No good, you got expenses. That was it.
Thanks for finish square. Thanks very much, mate. Cheers. Thanks a lot. That was Anthony Juppy there. So at the Picnics is that Twitter handle if you want to see where the best Palmers and the best pies are anywhere in Australia these days. The way he gets to some of these meetings, they're on the way to the boxes now for the Bendigo Cup. As I hand that back over there to Charlton, we've got we're all with Typhoon Sammy. Basically, we're all with 3. Other numbers 1, 2, 4, and 6. That's where we're sat.
We've all got the 1, 2, and the 3 in there. So, knowing our luck, it'll be the 7 and the 8, kind of scoot across from the outside. But I actually like Quinlan Bale, who is getting pummeled.
Yep, 750 into 440 on Sportsbet. 750 into 440. Typhoon Sammy is out to $2. I reckon that it's time to jump on
And
board.
Aston Merritt is out to 750.
750.
So I reckon he's drawn to give a bit of cheek as well. But it'll all depend on the first 2 metres. If he steps clean, like, I reckon he does better off an inside draw. I know everyone says he wants to get wide and stuff, but
He does
I think
get
he begins
wide,
better on the inside. And he also still comes down on the bend. So I don't think he's badly drawn on the inside. And I mean, his box 1 record was ridiculous. So
and Shimmer Shine, the 5, doesn't mind using a little bit of the
That is the
track as
greyhound.
well. So,
It is the greyhound that makes the race.
I actually backed it last week in the heats. I was cursing that we weren't doing a heats coverage
no.
because I backed it
Big
last
odds
week,
too.
and I would have carried on, and I would have probably been a little bit intoxicated by the end of it. I would have been that excited, but I had a reasonable result there. But
Into 390.
into 390, so 750 into 390.
Flamer. For those out there that are on the Sportsbet app, 3 Flamer, usually people pile in.
Well, he did hold out Plaintiff and beat Plaintiff pretty reasonably comfortably in the heat. There's nothing wrong with that draw. And obviously, Sammy's not going to cross him and give him any problem, and he's Shimmer Sheen. So there's not going to be any pressure from the outside, these inside 2 dogs. So Aston Merritt in box 1 and Quinlan Bale, they're going to get clear running to show their wares as well.
Quinlan Bale and Aston Merritt are perfectly boxed. They're the map dogs of the race.
Yep.
Typhoon Sammy, I don't think it really matters where he's drawn all that much. He gets
Just how
down
he
and
begins.
struts his stuff. Shimmer Sheen uses a bit of the track as well, so it is going to be hard for those wider runners to get across. Panadero Warrior, how good was he last week? If he gets clear air, he can run serious time.
The reaction of
it's
the
an
trainer
awkward
says
box
that the
draw.
box draw was pretty ordinary during the box draw. But
He wasn't happy. But if you switched the favourite, Typhoon Sammy, with Shimmer Sheen, I reckon we're seeing a totally different market here. I think Shimmer Sheen is the reason why he's so short. Lack of speed inside. I think 660s early. Typhoon Sammy went 638 last week.
Ridiculous, yeah.
So really, Typhoon Sammy has to miss the kick. Out to 210 now with Sportsbet. 390 for Quinlan Bale. 650 Panadero Warrior. Probably drew any closer to the fence and
You'd be sure again,
inside
yeah.
Shimmer Sheen. You're probably looking around the $4 mark.
No, we think that's the race. I think whatever Typhoon Sam, if he gets a clear run in the first couple of metres, he wins the race. If he doesn't, 1 or 2 probably salute and scores an upset. $50,000 the winner for the Bendigo Cup of 2022. $100,000 if Typhoon Sammy wins it. Now we'll go upstairs to Dan Hibbert for his call of the $50,000 winner, Group 2 Bendigo Cup for 2022.
Aston Merritt, who's been in super form of late, got his way through to the Cup final, winning from the 5, goes to the red tonight, and he is on the 4th line of betting. Sky back with us for the feature, the Bendigo Cup final. Typhoon Sammy, box 3 the favourite, looking for 3 country cups in the calendar year. They're moving in well. For tonight's feature, the green light is on and the lure rolls for race 8, the Bendigo Cup of 2022. They're set. Racing. Typhoon Sammy began fairly well, now drives through and gets to the lead with Shimmer Sheen. Out deep on the track was Salad Dodger. Behind them was Quinlan Bale. Deeper Panadero Warrior. Well back to Aston Merritt. He's no slouch, and Orson Mick, but Typhoon Sammy 3 in front on the turn. Salad Dodger to second. Quinlan Bale running on. He's all out, Typhoon Sammy, but he makes it 3. Typhoon Sammy wins the Bendigo Cup. Second's a photo. Salad Dodger's got it on the outside of Quinlan Bale. They were clear then of Aston Merritt, who's railed through for 4th ahead of He's No Slouch, and then came Orson Mick, and further back in the field we had Shimmer Sheen. The time on the final is 23.532. Number 3, Typhoon Sammy wins the Bendigo Cup. It's 3, 7, 2 and 8. He's No Slouch has actually got into 4th. 3, 7, 2 and 8 on the Bendigo Cup final. And it's 3 country cups, Traralgon, Horsham, and now Bendigo for Typhoon Sammy. And a $50,000 bonus for connections by Aston DB out of Zabaleta for Jason Thompson. Leads all the way, gave nothing else a chance. Scores by 2 lengths. Second 7, Salad Dodger, a bottling running second, and Quinlan Bale first step up to Cup class has run a great race in 3rd. He's No Slouch from box 8 has run 4th. 6:42, 11:12, 12:41 the splits, 23.532 is the time. It's 2 lengths by a neck on the Cup final. Typhoon Sammy, 61 starts now for 38 wins and 14 minor placings, and the $50,000 prize purse takes him to $288,000 in earnings tonight. tonight. The tote dividends, Typhoon Sammy, $2.10 the win and $1.20 the place. Salad Dodger, $2.20. Quinlan Vale, $1.50. Fourth in was number 8. The Quinella, $11.10. The Exacta, $12.90. The Trifecta, $62.70. The first 4, $225.80. Running double, 4 into 3 has paid $4. Daily double, 8 and 3, $21.10. The treble paid $54.20 on 8, 4 and 3. And tonight's quaddie, 3, 8, 4 and 3, $684.50. It's all clear and right to pay on the Bendigo Cup for 2022. The numbers.
Welcome back. What a result that was. Typhoon Sammy, we said if he stepped, he'd be awfully hard to beat. James Vandermart had 500 on it for the Punters Club. He's up and about. Peacock was on it. Troy might have had a little bit of on it pre-post. So he's landed the quaddie as well, Jimmy Vandermart. And we're just using Troy's right. It's actually nice. Handwriting. I feel like if you're a bloke at some point in your life, you have to start writing uppercase.
Yes, I write everything.
And I write uppercase now. Yeah.
Everything.
I
would struggle. No, I wouldn't.
You've got nice handwriting.
But I'm a left-hander, so
yeah, true.
With the whiteboard marker there, maybe a tad messy, but it looks like he's...
I'll tell you what, we said we'd hit some weird areas, but talking about handwriting directly after the Bendigo Cup, where they've just given out $100,000 for Typhoon Sammy with the $50,000 bonus. 3 country cups in a calendar year. That's unbelievable.
It was very difficult to write Typhoon 7 there and not Troy Harley. It was.
Hey, what a run that was! 23.53 in the end. A greyhound that's for a while there was a superstar. Went away, gone running at Grafton. Now coming back running those sort of times and beating a quality field. And the box draw. It went to plan in the end, but it looked like it was going to be Typhoon Sammy's cup.
It's very rare for dogs to back up the same race 12 months apart and be competitive, let alone broke the record last year, finished third in the final. Went on to obviously dead heat in the Melbourne Cup heat as well after that, despite not being able to run a genuine 500. But to come back now and not be too far off, I mean, 3/10 off a track record, but 12 months older, you would expect. I mean, it's 4 degrees as well. It's it's not like...
Or colder.
I mean, he did run 11-12s. Obviously, the track's able to be conducive to fast times, but just shows what a great effort the Thompsons have done. Obviously Darty as well when the dog went home to race at Capalabar and Grafton, etc. And just what a great chaser he is and what a love affair he's got for this track.
Oh, he's just unbelievable, isn't he? And I mean, like you just touched on before, he's a greyhound that actually won a Melbourne Cup heat and then didn't get through to the final because of the dead heat with Koblenz. And it's a nice little consolation getting that extra 50,000.
But we might hear the presentation now of the Bendigo Cup with James Vandermart.
He won a heat of the Cup last year. It was in track record time, or he equalled the track record, correct. He comes back 12 months later. He's just won his 3rd country cup. Look at Holly, can't wipe the smile off her face. Junior Thompson, $50,000 bonus. Does the old boy dish a little bit to the handlers or what?
Yeah, we're well looked after. We do well and truly. So, I'm just wrapped that he was able to get it done tonight, being the last country cup, his last opportunity to, and he got the job done.
The pressure was on you guys. There's no doubt about that tonight, and you've delivered. The box draw was perfect for him. He jumped beautifully. At what point in the run did you think, yep, Sammy's home here?
Oh, you never do in these type of races, regardless of how far out in front you are or what dog's in behind you. You're still in the back of your mind thinking that they're all good quality dogs. He's got 7 quality dogs in behind him, and you're just thinking, just keep going, and thankfully he did.
I think you're being a bit modest. Myself and Troy Harley were screaming at the deck about 10 metres into the race, thinking this is all over Red Rover. So, ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause. Typhoon Sammy, the winner of the Bendigo Cup. And we've now got, by the looks of it, Merv Hughes and Mr. Chilcott with the trophy and the rug. A big thanks to Marika and Stuart Lang here tonight as well, and the whole team on what has been a wonderful running of the 2022 Bendigo Cup. Now, I want a really, really rowdy round of applause in just a moment for the running and the winner of the 2022 Bendigo Cup. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Typhoon Sammy.
So that was the presentation of the Bendigo Cup. It's interesting. Holly's all smile. She's got the check to remember about the trophy on the road. She's smart. She's
Jimmy
smart.
Vanderbilt asking the hard-hitting questions. Does Dad sling you something for handling the winner? No, we get well looked after. We get well looked after.
I would think
he does a good job, Luke.
I would think with the Bendigo Cup being 50k, not the standard 47, that could be the richest check being handed over on a provincial track in Victoria.
Hillsville was 50 as well, so I think it might be tied.
Ferdinand Boy.
Yes.
Win that with Hillsville,
yep.
So that was
so
tied,
tied up.
100,000. So pretty good result. 2 years in a row, 100,000 at a country cup.
I reckon Stu Langey's on course tonight. He might be going, oh, maybe next year we might have to sneakily drop that off the radar. No, he won't do that.
It's a great promotion.
It's a great promotion, a great initiative, and to see the stars of the track go back to back to back in these country cups, it really is special.
Well, the thing about it is still, I mean, take Olgron Senior out, who was a Group 1 winner and a superstar, but the other greyhounds that have won it aren't 500-metre dogs, so they don't get that $100,000 race to chase. So the Typhoon Sammy, Ronan Ismay, Ferdinand Boys, this is their Melbourne Cup, to have a crack at. Obviously, win 3 cups, won 50, or another 50 jumps, and you get 200. This is their Group 1.
Yeah, I find that these dogs sometimes get spoken about more than the dogs that win over 500. I know it sounds silly, but
you see them more often, I suppose.
You
in big
see them
races.
more often. They come out and they win at a lot more tracks. Obviously, the city tracks. You're talking Sandown, the Meadows, and dogs like Typhoon Sammy can go anywhere. Terralgan, Geelong, Warrnambool, Warragul here. There's so many tracks that they can stamp their authority and show how fast they can run. So I love seeing dogs go around the country.
You think about the 3 cups he's won. 3 completely different cups and tracks. I mean, Terralgan's obviously completely different to everything else in the world, and I think I said in the coverage today. I think I said in the coverage that was like Kingston Town winning a Cox Plate. He never handled a joint at any stage and still won it. Then you go to Horsham, the massive long run to the turn and a hairpin, and then you come to your in-between horseshoe track here, and he's completely dominated all 3 races.
And 3 different distances as well. That's
and
different style of
10
track,
months
different
apart.
races, different. It's unbelievable, and credit needs to go to Team Thompson as well. They obviously know how to prepare a winner in the big races. How many have they won here? Is that 5 or 6? Is that 6?
I reckon that's 5. I reckon.
Yeah. If I can't count them on one hand,
Peggy May, Aston Bolero, Ronan Ismay. Is there one other? Peggy May, Aston Bolero, Ronan Ismay. Now Typhoon Sammy. There might be one other. So definitely 4, potentially 5.
It's just unbelievable, really. They just they time their greyhounds to perfect. There you go.
So he's 5.
They time them to perfection, and just time and time again they just come up with
the thing that I love, and when you win a race like that, you're obviously over the moon and you're jumping up and down, etc., etc. But how well Jason's son spoke, Luke, spoke that well, and James said, when did you think or know that you'd won the race? That he's virtually said, we never think we've won races like this because the talent is so high. You've got so many good dogs chasing you. You're not running around, at $1.30 in virtually, a race that you're just an absolute shoe-in. This is some quality dogs, and they were making ground on Typhoon Sammy, but how composed the kids are, it's fantastic to see. And the next generation of greyhound trainers coming through, it's awesome.
They're always well presented. They never say no to any sort of media opportunities, things like that. Like, it really is important for the sport moving forward, and they obviously place a high importance on that.
And it's great that there's the opportunity there now for these kids, whether they be sons and daughters of current trainers or someone want to come in the game, like your Sam Webbs, that get a chance to have a crack at it as a profession as well and do the hard yards and get some results, but be able to take over. And obviously, between Luke and Holly, they'll be at some stage taking over that entire operation, and whether they expand.
Holly's owned a winner herself now.
Trained a winner already herself.
Luke, I don't think's had any runners in his name, but I'm sure it's not too far away, and they're going to take the world by storm. I think these Thompson kids, they know exactly what they're doing, and they've learnt from the best. No
doubt about that. And one thing, everyone does their best to have dogs looking $1 million and stuff, but their dogs seriously shine like nothing else. And speaking of one of those Thompson clan, Holly, congratulations, well done.
Thank you very much.
I noticed you grabbed the $100,000 check and didn't worry about the trophy and rug first.
No.
Mum taught you well?
Yeah, very well.
That was good. To have a dog 12 months apart being competitive in the race, obviously third last year, but broke the record, to come back 12 months later, it's a big effort and a team effort, not only on your part, but also the darts that took him home for a while as well. So it's been a dual state effort to get the greyhound to continue for 12 months.
Yeah, the dog, he's just unreal, and he's the complete package. He's perfect at home, perfect here. To the darts, like it was Darty's birthday last week on the heats, and so it was pretty special that he got through, and I think Dad was on the phone to him straight away. I think he'll be over the moon. Like the dog, he's done so much in the past 12 months. He's it was supposed to be in the Melbourne Cup, and I think that broke our hearts a bit when he didn't get in because of the dead heat. But yeah, unbelievable what he's done this year, just unbelievable. And for him to pull what he's pulled off tonight is, just the cherry on top, I guess.
So how was the week? Obviously, the box draw was okay, given the way that the outside greyhounds drew. Was it a confident week or an easy week, or was there still a little bit of nerves and hoping he did the right thing?
Oh, we just try to keep everything the same at home. Luke and I were instantly happy straight away, and so was Dad and Mum with the box draw, because all the pace seemed to be outside of him, and there's really no big threats for early pace next to him. So we just thought to ourselves, he just needs to do what he did last week, and just as long as there's no one around him, he should be all right, and that's what he did. And he just was flawless, just flawless.
So how long before we see a Typhoon semi-type in Holly Thompson's name?
Oh, nah.
You've got a pinch one off him soon, haven't you?
Oh, nah,
just sneak in, log on to the computer and just change a couple of cross
I
have thought about it, definitely have thought about it, but
I reckon a plaintiff would look nice in your name.
Definitely. I have tried before. I have even to try and handle him. Dad, never. But yeah, I'm just here. I really came here actually for Equaliser in race 10. That's
your favourite, isn't he?
Yep.
What do we think of Equaliser in race 10?
Oh well, in my eyes he'll always be perfect, and I'll never see any faults in him. And it's been the first time handling him this year, and I said to him, no pressure. But
talking to.
Yeah,
there'll be plenty.
I've already told Stan, I'm like, no pressure, but this is like our first time this year. Want to start off with a bang. But yeah, he's come yet. He hasn't had a win since Brisbane, so it's been a while. He's had some time off. What I've been seeing, he's just been doing everything right, and hopefully he can show that tonight. But you never know.
Fingers crossed tonight.
You know what you're going to get with him though. He's average out. He wants the fence. He's drawn well. I don't expect him to spear the lids and go to the front.
No. He's never done that before. Him pinging the lids is just never will. But as long as he's out with them or within range of the leader, he can muster. He's done that heaps of times. But if he's still got it in him, I hope he does. Just see what he can do. But I know there is a heap of people waiting for him before he goes out and start again. But yeah, I hope he still has heaps in him left.
No, it's very good. Good luck with Equaliser later on. Congratulations to you, Luke, Mum, Dad, and the darts, and Typhoon Sammy himself. Give him a bit of a kiss for me tonight and a nice little biscuit.
The Macca's ice cream and hamburgers on Troy tonight, apparently.
I'll shout it. Just send the bank account and I'll pay for it for you. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Holly Tar. That's Holly Thompson there. Hopefully Equaliser can do the right thing for her as well.
She loves Equaliser, honestly.
How was the sparkle in her eye once
Equaliser? 100%.
It's just awesome. I love that. I absolutely love that.
I was out at the Meadows, I think it was for the Australian Cup, and Equaliser was in that night, and just the way she spoke about the dog, it was baffling. It was like, that was, she had seen the pup born and all the way through to handled every start. No one else handles it, and she's in love with Equaliser. But yeah, this is what I love about the industry. You get to see young people come through that are that excited. She's more excited about Equaliser.
She's won a cup more about Equaliser. Don't even get a start. I won't even know.
It's priceless, that sort of stuff. And
that's the sort of stuff us working in the media and doing these sorts of gigs need to get better at, is telling those stories and getting Holly Thompson on there. And just seeing that sparkle in her eye, talking about her absolute favourite Equaliser. I mean, that's really special.
My oldest is here catching dogs. She's up and about this morning. It's Bendigo Cup night. I'm catching Bendigo Cup night. Like, heaven forbid she ever goes and catches Melbourne Cup night or Phoenix night.
I'll tell you what, if I ever own one that's in a Melbourne Cup, I'll get Kayleen. She can catch it.
No, she'll be very happy.
Probably won't ever happen, but there you go, Kayleen.
Talking about getting the stories out there, like the Thompsons, the young ones and whatnot, Sportsbet are going to be massive. Greyhound Racing Victoria, social media posts, they'll be doing all sorts to get the names out there.
I saw during the week they had Alex Volkanovski, the UFC featherweight champion, had his namesake, the dog Volkanovski, who went around in the Great Chase semi-finals. They did a little video there, like that sort of stuff that we get out of Sportsbet. I mean, you can't put a price on that. And I mean, Alex Volkanovski, like he's the number one pound for pound fighter in the world at the moment. So to get him posing with the greyhound, it really is important.
Well, the runners aren't far off heading the boxes for the match race. Let's have a look at a couple of videos. The first one is Robbie Rotten winning the Warragul Cup earlier in the year, and the second one is Titan Blazer, runner-up in the Bendigo Cup heat last week. Then we'll come back and have a chat.
Racing Hamilton stepped all right. Hennessy showed pace, but they were beaten out by Robbie Rotten, who leads from Hamilton to second into the first turn. Third is between Hennessy and also Ultimate Avenger. Robbie Rotten's kicked away with a nice lead, though. Off the track was Titan Blazer, Kinson Bale, Indy Fido was well back. They turned for home. Robbie Rotten's got a nice lead. They fan behind it. Oh, it's all Robbie Rotten. Coming home, Ultimate Avenger for the Miners with Hamilton. Robbie Rotten, look at that go for the Miners.
Set to run. Heat 7 of the Bendigo Cup. They're ready. Racing. And away fast out wide would have been My Neo, showing good speed up on the inside. Axdale Pirate and also Panadero Warrior, who's very handy tonight. Panadero Warrior shot the lead by 2 lengths on Axdale Pirate around those in third. Titan Blazer, then My Neo back on the inside of Keep It Blue. Well back Osman Bale from Win and Do Wendy. Favourite, his last Matt's Hope on the swing. It's Panadero Warrior. He's clear from Titan Blazer up on the inside, but Panadero Warrior found his way into the Cup.
You got to continue that karaoke you're just doing then?
No, I'll tell you what, if Cambo stitched me up and threw to my microphone early,
which he did.
I might have. There might have been a few ladies flocking around.
So you're doing the moving pictures version or the Shannon Knoll version? Which one?
The Corey Smith version, the one and
better
only.
The Shannon Knoll one since Kate DeRugi on later on the Australian Idol winner. You better go the Shannon Knoll.
I'll tell you what, Merv has just given us some absolute morsels of wisdom just then.
Talking about the match race?
The match race. And we've asked him for a tip, and we've said, surely Titan Blazer. He goes, box Quinella. And he goes, I may have a trifecta with vacant box in there.
That's brilliant.
Great, absolutely great. Hey, I just got a text from the old man. He said, say congratulations to the Thompsons and Lukey Thompson. He said Lukey Thompson's one of his all-time favourites.
Merv's photo bombing us as well.
He is. He's having a great time. Hey, get a market update here. 3 minutes out.
He's doing our circuits out.
$1.75, $2.05. I still think it's overs at $1.75 Titan Blazer.
If you change the name of Titan Blazer, gave him the form, the exact same dog, I would be declaring him right now. But because of what he did to me in the Geelong, I'm so gun shy.
He did it to Denny as well. We're going to interview Denny. He said, only if he gets beat, I'm not getting interviewed. And he got beat.
The run last
and
week
he still did the interview.
Was enormous. Like, chased down.
Nothing wrong with Robbie Rotten. I'm with Robbie Rotten. There's nothing wrong with his run. It was a very tight to the first turn. He ran a length and a bit faster the first split. Working 3 and 4 deep. He was first up from a spell. He's going to lead. He's going to hold the lead. Whether he's fit enough to keep running 23.65s or so, he's going to have to run for Titan Blazer to beat Titan Blazer. But I've gone with a red. You two guys are with Titan Blazer.
I think it's actually not a bad draw for him. Obviously, Robbie Rotten, if he was going as well as he was when he won the Warragul Cup, I'd probably be with him, to be honest. His best is really good, but I think he's nudging 4 years old. He may even already be 4 now. I don't think we're going to see the best of him. I really don't want to doubt Kayla Cottrell because she's a very, very good trainer, and this is a very good match race. But I am with Titan Blazer. I think this format, he should get a nice little run into it and be too good for them.
So, mate, as they're going to the boxes, we'll have a bit of a look at some of the races we didn't get to cover early on in terms of the feature races. There was the consolation of the Battlers Cup, as we said, it was worth $3,500 for the winner. That was won by Hunter Grange for Delane Vigor. That was a effort there from box number 7. The Jared Larkin concreting final was won by Midnight Rocker over the 500 metres, a 6-7 race there. And the Manning's Greyhound Complex Vic Bred Maiden, Your Colour Bomb, the $1.20 chance, got there right on the line.
Right on the line. It was a super run, but it's certainly one that you can follow, I reckon, Your Colour Room.
Yeah, 100%.
Got plenty of ability for Andrew Paraskevas.
So these greyhounds at the boxes now. I'm solo on Robbie Rotten. You guys are with Titan Blazer. But
Titan Blazer, the market hasn't moved. $1.75. Unless your internet's gone.
I reckon
it may well have. It may well have.
I reckon if there was a margin bet, half length and under would be the value.
You reckon it's going to be an absolute humdinger? Is that what you're calling? Daniel Hibbard called that before when we were talking to him earlier as well. So.
Robbie Rotten's going to lead. Titan Blazer will be coming over the top. I think just the time difference last week. I think was it 5 lengths between them, 4 lengths between them.
Yeah, very different runs in the race though.
There was.
There's different runs in the race. But anyway, they're at the boxes now. We've got Dan Hibbard ready to go. This race is worth $10,000 the winner. Someone are guaranteed $1,500 for going round. This is the Shimmer Shiner Stud match race. And we'll go up now to Dan Hibbard.
Inside box from Titan Blazer in box 3, and it's basically a flip of the coin. This event, $1.70 now Titan Blazer on the fixed ahead of Robbie Rotten at $2.15, but there is not much separating this pair. They're at the start, race number 9, the Shimmer Shine at Stud match race, and they're about to get set. $10,000 to the winner, $1,500 for second, And we're about to see them move into the boxes. 170 Titan Blazer for Daniel Gibbons. 215 Robbie Rotten for Kayla Cottrell. The amber light is on and the runners are about to move in. Race 9, the Shimmer Shine at stud match race. Getting set. Last of them in, the green light's on. Lure rolls, set for the match race. Robbie Rotten v Titan Blazer, they're set. Racing, even line, Robbie Rotten drives through and will keep the lead early, a half in front of Titan Blazer, who comes up on the outside and they go nose for nose around the turn. Nothing between them. Robbie Rotten on the inside, Titan Blazer on the outside. They're still nose for nose. Nothing in it. Titan Blazer on the outside gets the upper hand late though. Titan Blazer wins it. Just check Robbie Rotten right on the line, but was well clear in the end by over a length, and the gallop is 23.70. What a thrilling match race. They were nose for nose till they turned for home, and Titan Blazer has put the foot to the floor and got away in the last little bit to score by a length and a half. 6.55, 11.30, 12.40 the run home, and the gallop is 23.698. 3 beats 1, 3 beats 1 in the match race. Titan Blazer by Mapunga Blazer out of Mistron for Daniel Gibbons, and it's win number 20 from 52 starts. 1 Robbie Rotten runs second, Kibo Nesquick for Kayla Cottrell, and it's placing number 16 from 44 starts.
Give him some orders there, Cambo, isn't he? Fair dinkum. Anyway, we're joined now by the manager of the Bendigo Greyhound Racing Association, Charlton Hindle. How are you going, mate?
Thanks for having me. Yeah, I'm going well.
Sleeping, you've relaxed a little bit more now that the feature races are over and it is what it is with the weather?
Yeah, exactly. Like a bit of a scare there with the weather, but no, we got through it and all systems go, and now that the main Cup's been done and won, and the match race is done, it's all systems go still.
With getting staff and the concerns of the road closures, there was a genuine issue at one stage whether the meeting to go ahead, wasn't there?
Yeah,
no one knows really. But
I think I had about
well, I do now.
Had about 7 staff that I was worried about overnight. So yeah, didn't really sleep much last night, and I was into work nice and early, chasing them all up, and just seeing their situation. Obviously, wasn't going to force them. Well, you can't force them to do anything, so just make sure it was okay and everything. And we ended up getting through. So yeah, got away with it. It was good.
Mate, obviously the weather hasn't been overly kind, but obviously the effort in terms of Merv Hughes, a guest speaker, we've got Jess Magnan's been singing, you've got Kate DeRoos later on. Probably cost you 300 or 400 people the weather, but there's still a pretty big crowd. You've got to be keen to look forward to next year and start planning something similar, and fingers crossed for better weather.
Yeah, absolutely. So just build on this, and it's been a massive learning curve for me, and I'm loving it. So it'll be good next year.
That never ends.
Troy's next year, I think.
If you can put a few heaters out here just right next to me, that'll be.
He's asking a bit this
morning.
I complain everywhere I go, so don't you worry. It's nothing special. But Troy's asking the hard-hitting questions. But what time's your first can? It's the best feeling. You take the shoes off after a big event and you crack a can. There's nothing better.
That sound as well. As soon as there's no better sound in the world. So there'll definitely be 1 or 2 consumed after tonight. That's for sure.
Well, the track boys done a sensational job. But the last fortnight's just been horrific for race meetings and trials and all. But you wouldn't know it had rained.
Mick and the team, fantastic job. So never a concern when they're running your track. So I was very lucky, and he's done an awesome job. So.
But how easy is it to give away $100,000 check when you know only half of it's coming out of your balance?
Yeah, absolutely. And then the $7,000 on top of that for the heat win as well. So $107,000 in a week's not too bad.
Start to your management career.
Yeah,
$100,000.
Exactly. Yeah, who's next?
I was going to ask you how much preparation goes into a night like this, and obviously the lead up to the Cup. It's a massive night, and I'm sure there's a lot of days and nights and hours involved.
Yeah, spot on.
A lot of staff also, but planning, how far ahead, and then obviously to make this happen?
Yeah, well, the funding starts about 3 to 4 months beforehand, so you put your application in for that, which is fantastic, and then you yeah, pretty much 7 weeks out, you start getting the ball rolling, you just start touching base and putting little feelers out to who's available, and yeah, and then it all just snowballs together. The last 2 weeks been amazing how well it's come together. So yeah, I'm pretty grateful.
So after the Cup, this is obviously a big night. You're only a couple of weeks away off another big night, which is always bigger than the Cup.
10 days.
10 days.
10 days. Yeah, so on the 25th of October, we got our Halloween meet, so which is massive for the kids and families. Yeah, I think in the past.
Boys, you don't know much about the Halloween meeting. That's obviously a public holiday the next day for the Bendigo Cup Horse Cup, and the two clubs here in the harness decided to put it on and feed kids and get the families out here, and it's a massive entertainment night. The first year was pretty successful with 150 kids we fed.
Yep.
3 years in, the last one before COVID, fed 800 kids.
Oh my
and
word.
2,500 people here. So it's a massive community event, and obviously leading the Bendigo. So
we might have to try and get
I'll be in Melbourne the weekend prior to Cox Place. You're on your own.
Sportsbet.
Sports. Yeah, absolutely.
Sportsbet's here about getting out here for that sort of night. That'd be fun.
Absolutely.
Massive night.
Yeah, that's a fantastic night. Like we've got
That would have been funny.
plenty of activities planned again.
Threw the shoe off the, off the stairs.
Yeah, so as soon as literally tonight's over, we're straight into advertising for that because, yeah, there's 10 days. So public holiday the next day in Bendigo. So there's, yeah, it's perfect for the Bendigo Cup with the thoroughbred. So, yeah, it's perfect. And there's obviously, sorry, I should mention, dual code with the Bendigo Harness Racing Club too. So, yeah.
Mate, thanks very much for coming on and joining us. It's been a terrific night. Great to be a part of it. Great
Absolutely.
to have Merv on. He's been photo bombing us here, which is great. Normally people doing it to him, but he's doing it to us. So he's been entertaining us.
I don't know if you saw it. He jumped in. He got a one-on-one photo with Holly and Luke. Yeah, just jumped in the back there. I was like, yeah.
He tipped the winner in that. He tipped the box Cronulla.
He got the trifecta. If Bacon Box got up for third, he got the trifecta.
Yeah, he's been fantastic value, Merv, so he was really good down there. And it's just another component that we added to the night just to make it something a bit different. So, yeah, it's fantastic.
Love the idea.
Thanks so much. You got about 1 hour and 58 minutes left first key.
Who's counting?
We got about 6 minutes to bring 3 out.
All right, no worries. Thanks, guys. Awesome job.
Thanks, Charlton. It was Charlton Hinder there, the manager of the Bendigo Greyhound Racing Association, and said it's been good to have people on and a bit of atmosphere and have a bit of fun.
I'll tell you what, anyone that does a VRIF application, the RAP application, the government funding application, you wouldn't have done one in your time, Peacock, but I'll tell you what, they're not much fun, and they're very good though. They give you a bit of cash.
Yeah, they do. It's one good thing about the support of the government. You certainly can't complain about it, and most of these events can't get off the ground. A lot of them end up standing their own 2 feet, but it's very difficult to take the risk on certain things if you haven't got that funding. But it's great to get that. It's a sad thing that we get our knockers saying that we're taxpayer funded. One of the greatest myths of all time. What the government gets out of point of consumption tax and wagering is many zeros more than what we get, but what we get is certainly well appreciated 100%. And well used to be able to promote the game.
100%. How good Charlton. Jeez, we had a chat to him the other day on radio, and he seems like he's doing a great job and loving it. And same thing, you know, a young person coming through, grabbing the bull by the horns and really relishing that opportunity.
No doubt about that, mate. He's doing a great job, and it's great to see some young blood in the administration instead of some of us old farts. 3 races to go.
Speak for yourself. Don't say us.
3 races to go. Equaliser. Check the Sportsbet market here before we sign off. $1.70.
I've got a roughie in that. I reckon he can win.
I reckon deserves to be, but what are you tipping?
Our Fabio, I think, leads it.
Nearly broke the first split record over 600 at the Meadows. The Ben start should be no issue, but I think Equaliser, if he gets a clear run, nothing can beat him. But our Fabio's a
$9 on Sportsbet.
Could be like the Hummick, got no bro, sort of same race multi there, I reckon.
There's only 5. Is there 6 runners? No, 5 runners.
I'm not going to say have a duet. That's probably more your time, Troy.
You know what? Hey, just box up an exacta.
Just have an exacta.
What the hell
Our
is that?
Fabio will lead.
Race 11, Weston's Bear is the favourite at even money. It's $3.20 into $2.
Yes.
Blue Redeemer at $3 and Bumpy's Dad Roy at $5.50. I think Dan was keen on Bumpy's Dad Roy at a bit of value. I think Weston's Bear will be hard to beat with Blue Redeemer. Yeah, I'm with the outside too, 7 and 8.
Yeah, I think the winner will come from the outside too.
I'm with the Blue Redeemer, but Bumpy's Dad Roy has got a lot of ability, doesn't always apply itself.
And then last race, I don't mind Studley for Leemore.
Studley's got a great chance. I think Release the Rage does everything right, he'll win, but he can make mistakes in the first 10 or 15 metres. It's currently $1.85, no value, Studley $2.80. Maybe Quinella them up to finish the night.
I'm with Studley.
I'll tell you what, we've found some winners tonight, fellas.
We have.
Been terrific. It's been fun. It's nice and laid back. Thanks for Sportsbet in getting involved and sending you out, Mitch. And
It's been a lot of fun, and
they'll get a shock when they get a shock when you put in the travel bill and then occasion to get around the floods. I go, hang on, he's only 150 k's away.
And all the
What's this 400 k's at 70
signs
cents?
that are in the back of my car? No, definitely not. No, it's been a privilege to be out here, and I've loved it. And Sportsbet and GIV only going to go bigger and better.
It's going to be a fruitful partnership, that's for sure.
Outstanding, mate. And you've got coming into a busy period, obviously, with the
Yes,
Meadows gig.
yes,
Your other gig.
it's
one of your many other gigs.
Yes.
Yeah, I like to wear a few different hats. I'm not good at wearing any of them. But,
You won't beat this bloke that's producing the show.
No, that's true. But no, yeah, we've got an exciting time coming up. We've obviously got the Top Gun Stayers and the Hume Cup all on one night this year. So a little bit of a change there, November 5th, and that kicks off a big 5-week festival of racing
Silver
called
Chief.
Dream Chasers.
Yep.
And there's the Silver Chief, December 3rd is the heats, into the 10th, the final, and then the big one the week
Phoenix.
after, the world's richest greyhound race, the Phoenix, which is going to be awesome.
And televised.
Yes,
The
televised
meetings.
on racing.com,
Yep.
so that'll be plenty of fun, I'm sure.
The Harness had record turnover with their racing.com venture last week, so we're certainly expecting pretty big things, I think, from the ground turnover as well, because it's heading that way anyway.
Brain them.
Yep, no
The
doubt
dogs
about
will
that.
brain them.
No, outstanding. We've now got some sports tips too, haven't we? Aaron Finch to be the leading
Well, I
run
think
scorer.
he's just gone out. I just got a message from one of the boys saying, Finch, lol. And then another boy's written, OG, I thought it was washed out, lol. So I don't know why there's lols everywhere, so something must happen.
We're not talking about tonight. He's talking about the
I know.
World Cup.
I know, but he's...
Yeah, that's what he said.
You want to
He
see
said
a little bit of form.
You don't win your Bendigo Cup 6 months ago, do you?
I
So
got to say he's got more confidence in Finchy than I have, but he's also got a bit more experience in the game.
We just want to see it, though, don't we? I mean, if you like cricket, you just like
100%.
watching Finchy when he's flying. There's not too many better.
No.
the real question is, does Merv lack confidence at all?
I wouldn't have thought so.
No.
I wouldn't have thought so. If you're happy to limber up, carrying a bit of put in front of 100,000 at the MCG, you've got no confidence issues whatsoever. Let's face that. Thanks very much for joining us. Hopefully, whether it be in the Facebook page or the YouTube page, of some more of these events at Bendigo and potentially other clubs will be going through the YouTube channels. Certainly keep looking for that. Certainly keep on the socials. And wherever you're watching greyhound racing, enjoy. Stay safe if you're in the floodplains. And we look forward to seeing you, wherever that may be, at our next feature race. Thanks for joining us.